I'm gonna start with it's kind of out of order, but the first one that this is the one because I never didn't believe the one that really hit me first. And I mean hit me meaning like holy wow, that was real. I was sitting in my house at my table in the kitchen. Behind me, I had French doors, but they were closed. And on my table, where I was just writing in my journal, I had a huge, weird, odd glass vase that was full of. It had 2 dozen roses in it, um, which were sitting there for a reason. Someone had given them to me, and I'm sitting there, and it's a quiet day. It's a warm day. It's the end of. It's sort of like again about this time of year. It's beginning of autumn, and I'm writing, and all of a sudden I hear shh, 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 this kind of like swishing sound or this moving sound. And I looked up to my right where the roses were, and the roses were literally one by one being pulled up and put down, pulled up, put down, as if somebody were standing there and pulling them up to smell them and put them down. And it was daytime. I was alone, but the cats were there. The cats that were sleeping over in the other part of the kitchen, they didn't wake up. They didn't do it. They didn't act weird, but the roses were moving up and down, up and down, up and down, and I lost it. I was like, oh no, what happened? What's going on? Like, that shouldn't happen. Like, that should not happen, right? I got scared. I stood up. I went into another room. I grabbed some rose incense to banish. I was like, something's here. I'm going to make sure it's not scary. And then all of a sudden, right as I did that, or right as I was about to do that, it's something in me got really, really calm, really, really peaceful, really, really sweet. And I was like, oh my God, that's Aunt Bert. And here's the kicker to that story. My Aunt Bert, my great Aunt Bert, she's great aunt, grandma's sister. That was the day she was being buried. She was being buried in Illinois. I was in Washington. What I didn't know until much later, because I told the story to my nephew, who went to her funeral in Illinois. I told him the story, and he said, that's so weird. And he sent me the image of her card, the funeral card, the thing that you get. She loved roses. And I did not ever know that. And it was so weird that, like, the moment I stood up, got freaked out, thought, ooh, I gotta go do something to protect myself. I got the really calming thing. Like, no. It's me. It like literally, I think she just stopped by to say hi. I wasn't unclose with her. The last time I saw her before she died, I had flown home from Washington to Illinois to my grandma's funeral, her sister. When I got to the funeral home, I walked in the door, and I literally from the airport to the door, and there she was in a wheelchair. She was in all white. She had all white hair. She just was glowing. And I remember walking up to her and saying, because she was the eldest of the three sisters. And I walked up to her and I said, you look like an angel, because she did. And she patted my hand in that old lady way, She patted my hand and she said, thank you so much. This is so hard. And I was like, oh, that was the last time I saw her. She did. She was white sweater, white pants, white, white hair, white. And she was lit up, and she died. I think it was about 3 years later. But that was her first sister her first sibling to die. So yeah, that was, but we weren't really close, we're just family. I did not know she loved roses. I did not know that was being stated at her funeral because I wasn't there. But right there at the time of her funeral, there it was.